Q here. Woo, episode 71. Sean the Hitman Cutler joins us. Sheldon Howell and Najee Armbrister. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Morning.
Wonderful.
It's a day. It's a great day to be alive.
Sean is still enjoying the lasagna soup for breakfast.
Naj was early to his time.
Thank you. Learning how to be on time. No more island time.
Why are you talking? Yeah, it's.
He's like an R&B artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm in the studio.
Yeah, just getting your Barry
Slow R&B.
Barry White. Yeah. Nah, man. Bring out your voice. Let's hear it. Anyways, so episode 71, talking Parisi stuff. I really want to have a debate with all of you guys. I don't really want to ask the questions, but I'll bring up a topic that we've heard a lot, and that is, I mean, we're all baseball people. So maybe let's chat about training during the season, postseason, off season, all of that stuff versus live action. This is a great topic that we kind of touch on all the time, but I think yesterday's episode kind of brought out a little rant for Sheldon, and I think we could have a good discussion about it amongst the three of you.
Go put the bowl away. Stop
He's gonna lick the bowl. Leave him alone.
Like
he's gonna take
dog.
the finger out and then
just clink, 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 clink.
yeah, we can hear the clinks
It's
on there.
empty, Sean.
Yeah, there's
Sean,
nothing,
it's
there's
empty.
nothing left.
So let's talk about live reps versus training programs and all of that good stuff. Sheldon, I think this is a good topic for you to bring out more Parisi side of stuff and just let the world know.
Yeah, I mean, the topic's pretty simplistic. It's not... People overcomplicate it way too much.
Why do they overcomplicate it? I'm just going to be the guy that says why today.
Because they have excuses for themselves. I mean,
You guys are like mumbling.
That's pretty much the answer. I mean, if you think in sports in general that you should distinguish between training and playing, in other words, one of them suffers because you're deciding to do the other one, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, there's off seasons because of time frames and sports seasons and because of weather and, many of things that play into it. But, like, if you have the opportunity to play the sport that you love playing or you claim that you love to play, I don't know why you wouldn't play it. Just doesn't make any sense to me. Not to mention, training-wise, you should be training all the time. Like, you should be training year-round. Point blank, end of discussion. Like, training partially or training a little here compared to a little there, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're playing sports at a high level, like, it's a part of your lifestyle. It's just what you should be doing.
Naj, you want to weigh in on that?
Personally, I prefer to play. I feel like I get better the more I play. Like training, yes. I definitely got into the training later in my life than I should have, or I felt that I did. But we played a lot. I played a lot of baseball, like on the weekends in the Bahamas. All we did was Saturday, go to the park and play all day. Like, that's what it was. Just go and play all day. And some dudes practice all week because they went to the academy. I went to school. I went to school and I just waited until Saturday and I played every day. And that's the only day I really worked on baseball. And that was sad to say. I didn't train, and then I got here and I started playing in the summers. And then, like, I feel like college was the best. College summer ball was the best because, like, you just played every day. Like, the first time I played with the Heat, I just played every day. I just loved it. No practice, none of that nonsense. What are we talking about practice? Just show up, play. Can I beat you without having to do this at practice every day? Yes. That's what it's about. That's why I love college baseball, summer baseball.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the training outside of what you would do from, like, your coach, primarily this is focused towards like the youth and the high school athletes who believe that doing just enough to get by and letting whatever talent that is, showcase versus actually putting in work to be a true athlete, year round.
I think the topic, it just boils down to, we have tons of kids that they're claiming that they're not going to play because they're going to train. And that's like a massive red flag. It's like, wait a minute. So you're doing one or the other? Like, why would you not do them together? Because if you come to me and tell me that you're trying to be a high-level athlete and you're not training all the time, like constantly in the gym, constantly working on form, technique, the stuff that you're doing, constantly practicing year-round, you're not going to play at a high level. It's just, it's just, that's what it is. So you're trying to act like you act like you want to do something, but then you're not really backing it up with what your actions really are. And I think that's where the confliction comes from, because, you should be doing both at all times. Like professional athletes, if that's what you aspire to be like, they're training all the time. Like, granted, they have more time. They get to be able to do different things. Like there's pieces to it, but they're not taking massive gaps of time not doing anything. If they did, they wouldn't be at the level that they're at and what they're doing. Colleges, like they legally can't do certain things based off of the rules and regulations that they have. But if they could, I assure you they would. Like they would do it. So, I mean, that's the mindset that is always something where it's like, what? And, we obviously do baseball in the summer, so it's an option. But, like, there's other sports out there where the options are different, but there's still options to do things. Like, I don't think you ever hear these complaints in other sports. Soccer players, they play all the time. They always want to play, no matter what. Like, they're trying to play. I mean, we got kids in here that play on 4 teams sometimes. It's like, and that's a whole different conversation. But it's just like, basketball is the same way. Basketball's turned into a year-round sport. Guys are playing, they're playing in the winter, playing in the summers. Like, they're constantly, trying to find games, like, constantly working on it. It's just baseball has this, like, weird, I don't know. To me, it's a fad. To me, it's like people have been brainwashed into thinking that, not playing the game is all of a sudden going to make them better at the game, which...
That is fad. With a D, fad with a D.
I just don't get it. Like, I don't.
The
concept to me is just, you got to make it make sense to me and explain it to me. Like, that's and there might be some perspective out there that I'm just, maybe I'm just not privy to the full picture, the understanding. But I mean, I mean, just like he said, like, dude, some of the best baseball players in the world, where do they come from? Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican,
Curacao.
Caribbean, like,
Curacao.
like places that do nothing but play the sport.
Great Britain's Bahamas.
Yeah. They just are constant. They're playing. Like, they play and they play and they play and they play. And then we wonder why these dudes get so good at the thing that they're, I mean, change it to work. You know what I mean? Like, make it, they're welding down there right now. Do you think that you get really good at welding by not training and not welding?
Staying consistent in that situation.
No, I'm gonna go do something else for a few months, and I'm gonna come back better at welding.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
It don't, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. Yeah, like, it just doesn't it don't translate, dude. Like, if you stop hitting live pitching for a month, the month you come back, you're screwed. Like, straight up, it's going to take over a month to get back into the swing of things.
Or 2.
Probably more, depending on level.
Dude, coming off of COVID. Was it COVID or was it? Oh, either or, actually. My first 2 years coming into fall ball. Shoot, I'm trying to remember that. But I know my sophomore year, I didn't play. I worked summer. And I came back, and I did not get... Now, obviously, there are better baseball players than me out there, but I did not get a hit all fall. I didn't see live pitching in the summer. I didn't get a hit all fall. There was a pitcher that actually hit in the Fall Ball World Series. He got a hit.
Before you?
But well, I didn't get one at all. I finally got one in winter ABs coming back from anyway. That was a whole nother thing. But yeah, so obviously I wanted to drive my car off the bridge. But that's if I would have done some summer ball that summer, I mean, I worked and I made some money, which was good, but
You know what?
things would have been different. Now, if we're talking training along with the sport, which is your original question, correct?
Mhm.
The biggest thing about that is parents and coaches over time have been brainwashed into thinking, not everyone, this is a generalization, this isn't everybody,
But it's a lot of you.
have been brainwashed into thinking that training while playing your sport will get you injured so you can't play your sport, when it's the opposite. So they have this fear that, okay, if I'm training and I get injured in season, I miss time because I'm getting injured, then it's the training's fault, right? So then we're just not going to train while we're in season. Well, guess what? Now kids are in season 9 months out of the year. So then we're only training 2 or 3 months out of the year because you need a little break, right? You need a little break before you do it. You got to give them rest time after running them ragged, playing baseball for 9 months out of the year at age 12. Yeah, sure. Give them a break. And then we only train for 2 months. So the biggest thing is keeping your body active while you're in season. And it doesn't mean training doesn't mean getting under the squat rack and maxing out every single time. It doesn't mean getting under the bar and trying to bench as high as you can.
Squat's one thing, but bench, you
You
got to do
know,
that.
that's not training. That's what people think. They think training's only lifting. Well, training can be a lot of different things. Training can be sprint work. Training can be endurance work. Training can be mobility. Training can be flexibility. Training can be internally strengthening your body. Not just not just lifting weights. It's not just moving weights, right? It's learning how to move. And if we stay moving while we're playing, we're going to be better players. But if we just play and then we don't train, right? Then our body gets used to just the motions that you're going through on the field. So when you go outside of those practice motions and outside of that practice speed and outside, because like especially like a sport like baseball where the game speed's not super quick, right? And you go outside of that and your body gets into an awkward position, it's not prepared to absorb that awkward position. That's when injuries happen. Not, oh, he overtrained. Now you can overtrain, sure. But
whoa.
the thing is,
See, I disagree. I have a world famous quote.
well,
Somebody
so
says
overtraining would be training wrong with
That's
the
my
wrong coaching.
quote. Don't take
So-
my quote.
Well,
My famous quote
I read your mind.
that is super famous is that you cannot overtrain. You can only train improperly. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah,
Boom.
thank you. Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah, it's
You're
very
welcome
famous.
for laying.
Lay that up for me,
alley-oop.
slam it through. Yeah.
But
well,
I think the thought process behind most of this is that, in the off season and during the season, encompassing the entire activity of the body doesn't necessarily compare to, overtraining per se or training incorrectly.
off season, you better be going hard.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, And
that's your
then
time for
in-
growth.
in season, right? And then you dial it back a little bit. But it like just because you're sore. Now this is the problem, right? This goes back to our discussion a few weeks ago about like conditioning. Okay, so over time, because there's not always been a Parisi around. There's not always been these performance schools around per se, right? So then it's up to the parents and the kids to kind of figure out. So schools have and coaches at schools have implemented these fail safes to make sure their kids have been doing something. So they, school weights, right? And then conditioning, preseason conditioning to make, because over time, even though this kind of thing has grown, the performance school and everything has grown and more people are doing it, not enough, more people are doing it, right? As they get into sports more. But even as that grown, now the people still use the excuse of, well, I'm doing school weights or I'm doing conditioning and all this stuff with the school, so I just don't have time for the extra stuff. When in fact, all that stuff is just really a fail safe to make sure your athlete has done something outside of their sport. And it's good for that purpose of that, okay, well, the people who were lazy and didn't do anything move around and actually do something. But if you're actually trying to either catch up to the pack or separate yourself from the pack, doesn't really make sense to do everything the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Yeah, volume-based training at the schools is not
When you have big
it's
groups,
very generalized.
big groups, not a lot of spotters, not a lot of supervision. It's not the coach's fault that they got, maybe not completely coaches or strength coaches' fault that they got, 15 groups of 4 and only 2 supervisors in there, or maybe only 1 supervisor for 8 groups of 3. It's like, and then they can't keep eyes on everything. I mean,
I don't think I ever fault the coaches for trying to do it. It's just the system is not.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah, the system. It's a logistical problem.
You might have a great workout plan, but the chance of you getting through all of it, so you're like, well, I can't get through all this in 50 minutes or whatever we have, so I got to break it down to 2 lifts and maybe 2 other movements that we can kind of superset together for the time, because the kids are going to screw around anyway. Part of the time too, because I can't keep on every single one of them.
Sure.
So it's definitely not a good excuse. And then you do have like the fitness influencer thing has grown online, so a lot of kids follow these things, so they are getting more active themselves. But that's like more, which is not bad for them. But they go to the Y and they do their own lifting and stuff. But once again, there's not a professional with them, right? They're moving, which is good. I shout out to those kids, keep working hard, but at the same time, they're throwing stuff at the wall to see if it sticks.
Sure.
In that, because I mean that's what I used to do too. So
yeah, I mean general fitness. I say this to parents all the time. General fitness is good. Like it's not a bad thing. It's nothing negative towards it. There's nothing wrong with it. But general things get you general results. So don't come in here. Don't come talk to me. Another big banger right there. Don't tell me, like this is the mindset problem that I have. It's like, okay, you guys say you want to go to college, you want to do it, but you don't have time to do any of the things that are going to help you get there because you're so busy doing all these things
that everybody else is doing. 1, 2, they're things that aren't going to track you in the direction of where you want to go, but yeah, you want to then complain about it, but you're choosing to do it. It's just people live in fantasy land. Like everybody thinks they're LeBron James. Everybody thinks that they're the kid that can just play 3 sports, 4 sports, 5 sports. I mean, whatever it is, dude, for youth athletics, totally agree. Try everything. Find what you love. Get out there. Have fun. Like, I never in a million years am I ever going to care about winning and losing until you go to college. Like, I just won't. High school, I don't even really care about it then. Like, maybe a little bit high school sports because there's some team type stuff in that. But, like, I just don't care. Like, you could ask me right now who won state whenever it was, and I'm not going to be able to tell you. Like, I can't. Like, it's just that portion of the game is just not.
It's not the highlight of the life.
It's not that. It's just it's not the it's not the determining factors behind whether or not you're going to have an opportunity to go to the next level, which is what you're asking me questions about, right? Like, and that's the part where parents have to start to understand, if we want to cultivate an environment for our athlete to have the best possible chance, then we're going to have to make sacrifices, first and foremost, number 1. Number 2, we're going to have to decide what is more important, right? Is it more important to have fun and go do the social things and be about whatever? And if those things are more important to you, then that's what you're going to heed in life. Those are going to be the results that you get.
Take headative.
It's fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, we're not trying to sound like a-holes. Like, we're just being honest. The difference is when you go look at these kids that are doing these big things in college, you go look at these kids that are doing stuff at a professional level, all of that stuff, I promise you, they all had that same decision process, and they chose the other way. Like, most of them decided to do something different.
Talk to Ty over
yes.
at Louisville. That's exactly what you said. I mean, he had to do things differently. He had to put in extra work that no one else was doing, and you had to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Driving,
on weekends where all the other kids are going to high school parties, doing the stuff, like whatever. Like, he still had a social life, but Saturday morning he's driving up to Kansas City to go pole vault with dudes up there that are wanting the same things that they want, and now he's on like the #1 track team in the country, like for what he does. there's no, I mean, people look at that and they're like, oh, well, he just, he
just
just
talented.
got it. He
Yeah,
just got it.
He just has the
But
talent.
he's a kid who was in this exact program who was not big, not strong, not probably still today that fast, but he's bought in on doing all of the little things that are getting him the things outside of the realm. And, that's just that's what it is. Like, it's just the discipline that it takes to do that stuff is just, it's a different level, but that's why they get results at a different level. Like, it's not rocket science. This isn't some foreign thing. It's just people aren't willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to prioritize. They're not willing to do it. And then they make excuses, and then they aren't willing to look in the mirror and actually tell themselves the honest truth of, like, I look back at my week. I worked out 2 times this week, and that was pretty much it. And then I compounded that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And now 50 weeks have gone by. I'm going to go get tested again and see where I'm at. And I've changed my score by 30 points in a year. And it's like, yeah, that ain't going to get it done. Sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you other than it just isn't going to get it done to be able to have the opportunities to go and do this stuff. Because every college coach that's going to look at these high school kids, they're just going to expect it to be done. They don't want a project. They don't want to look at that and go, oh, got to fix it. Now, if you're on the opposite end of that scale and you're, like we said the other day, you're 6'6" and you're a 16-year-old, I'll sign up for that project. Give me that kid. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take that kid all day as a college coach. But the vast majority of athletes aren't that.
So
That's this
I
guy.
have a question. My question is,
Deep.
when should an athlete make the change, make the decision to say, oh, this is what I want to do. I'm going for this is what I'm riding out. Like, what year in high school or what year do you have to be?
Sophomore year in college.
I don't think that there's a straight line answer to that question. I think that you have to follow the flow of your career based off of where you're currently at, right? Like, you got to be able to put your feet in the ground and say, okay, where am I having the most success? Number one. Number two, what do I enjoy the most, right? Like, how do I pair those two things, right? Because I have kids. I mean, I won't say his name, but, I'm bugging him right now about going to college because he tells me he doesn't want to go to college. He's one of the best wrestlers in the state. He's like 45-1, and he's a senior. And he's like, yeah, just, I want to not do it. And I'm like, why? Right. But, and again, like, so it's about when you pick and choose those things, it's just about like putting your feet in the ground of where you are right here, right now. What are your opportunities that are in front of you right here, right now? Right. We had Gabe. Gabe was on here already. Gabe was in that same boat. He didn't want to go to college. And I'm like, Gabe, like, you're too talented to not at least feel it out. If you go feel it out, it doesn't seem right, the money ain't right, like all that type of stuff, and then you want to make a decision to not do it, that's, dude, respectable, totally fine. But, dude, you're going to kick yourself in the ass 6, 7, 8 years down the road and looking back when you've gone and done your work for 4 years, like you're going to do the rest of your life, and then you're going to be like, man, I probably could have ran track, or I probably could have done this. Yada, yada. I mean, you can go to any local dive bar around here, and you're going to hear that story 100 freaking times.
You want to go to Applebee's and check tape?
Like everybody always is going to talk about that, but how do you make that decision? Well, dude, I mean, ultimately you got to follow, the flow of where your career
I was
is,
gonna say
right?
follow your heart.
No, like a little
I was
bit.
I was gonna walk out.
But you got to follow the flow of the career. Like, you got to see where the numbers meet the criteria, right? Like, that's usually where I always start with the guys or girls or whatever. Like, let's see where you are at the best, and then let's determine whether or not that's really something you love doing. Like, do you enjoy it? Do you not enjoy it? Right.
Well, I mean, I think that conversation came up with Coach G. He wanted to chase the lights of football when he knew his heart and his gut is what he said was truly in the wrestling platform.
His Gart.
Yeah, I mean, his situation is a little bit different because he didn't have wrestling opportunities. He had a ton of football opportunities. So, that's a business decision at that point. Like, you got to determine, okay, am I going to start fresh and just put my name back into a hat that it doesn't exist right here, right now, and go try and talk to some people? Or am I just going to follow the opportunities? And, again, there's no straight line answer every time. Like, it doesn't always work out. Like, that's the gamble of life, like there's going to be decisions that you make that you don't know what's going to happen. Like, if we all knew, then we would know. But, in his situation, he followed football because he loved football. Like, he still loved football, like even towards the end of his career. But looking back on his career, he has a different perspective now, which, newsflash, everybody does. Like, when you look back and you think about it, I mean, how many times have we talked to people and it's a synonymous thing that they say? They're like, man, I wish I could just go back to high school and like really focus.
Yeah.
Like, I really wish I could go back to those years and like just put the game down, break up with the girl, not pay attention to the noise, and just like straight up really focus on what I could have possibly done, because I know that the opportunities would have been better for me. But instead, we listen to a bunch of idiots and we follow people that don't know shit, and we go down, and I'm not saying we're going down like a deep, dark path or anything, but we weren't willing to sacrifice what was right in front of us, right there, right then. That seemed like it was more fun. It was whatever. It was, immediate whatevers. And we didn't sacrifice it. So we're living the consequences of that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that I don't think you can just stamp an age on it. I don't think you can just put you got to know by sophomore year of high school. Like, if you don't know by sophomore year, now I could give you a general answer. Sure. Like, I mean, generally speaking, like sophomore, junior year of high school, the reason that recruiting starts around that time is because coaches want you to like make some decisions pretty quickly. You know what I mean? If I'm a basketball coach and I'm recruiting a guy to play basketball, but he's also a football player, I'm trying to get my name in the ring. So that way, if I want this kid, like, I want him to start paying attention to me more rather than thinking about football, So like, you're going to see the outside pressure start to happen at that point in time. So I think as athletes, we got to have some sort of a game plan, which is a whole nother conversation, because most athletes don't have it. Most athletes don't even think about it. I can't tell you how many kids still to this day that come here that I just, bump into. I'm like, hey, you talking to anybody? Oh, no. I'm like, dude, you're one of the best soccer players around. Like, why? Well, nobody's reached out to me. And I'm like, do you think that they're just going to come find you? Like, bro, there's 100,000 kids playing sports here in our city. Well, how in the world do you think that they're just going to find you out of nowhere? Like, and that's another old school thing where it's like, oh, well, if you're good enough, they'll always find you. Bullshit. That ain't how it works no more. Like, dude, that was back in the day when it was like you didn't have technology and that you didn't get flooded with, so like these kids back then, like some dude, that was playing football down south that was breaking every record. Well, that was the only thing to talk about. So it went everywhere across the country. But the only other players that we would know about would be the actual ones that you would physically go and watch. Because, yeah, like Facebook wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like or Instagram, none of that stuff was real. Now you can go on your phone and find the top 100 athletes in our zip code in the matter of 2 minutes.
Thank goodness.
Like it's just a whole different thing. Recruiting is a whole different animal.
When do you think it stopped?
I don't know. Sheldon's stuff went out. So.
Oh, my computer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it said you stopped recording. And I said, thank goodness.
Sheldon went off.
Time out from the game.
Oh, that's fine. They can still hear me. They just can't see me.
That's okay.
That's why we got the soundboard, dog. Yeah. Get back in there. But yeah, so to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know the number. What do you think?
I like to say I feel like you should only be playing 2 sports going into like your junior year. You should not be still trying to be a 3-sport athlete. Because there's one of them, most likely, most 3-sport athletes are football, basketball, baseball. Most of them.
Or track.
Yeah.
A lot of soccer players are.
Oh, soccer too.
But
yeah.
But usually if they're soccer players, they're only soccer.
They're going to play 3 sports that go in the same season back to back to back.
They
That's
just
my
play
point.
on 4 teams. Yeah.
That's my point. They play on three seasons back to back to back. I
Yeah.
feel like it's usually the middle one that nobody really likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying
That's
like
the busy sport.
yeah, like those winter sports, like those are the busy sports.
Mhm.
Those keep those are the ones that people just play to play.
That's where the 5'5" white guys play basketball.
Shout out
Hey.
to one of our listeners.
That's where they do that.
Unreal, Sheldon.
No
Just 'cause
names.
you're
Not gonna
5'9",
say
you gotta
his
pay-
name. Not gonna
Punch
say his
down at
name.
the 5'5" guys.
Sheldon's 5'8".
Yeah, I'm
5'8",
5'8", brother.
5'8".
5'9" on a good day.
You're below out. Wait, you're right at average, huh?
Yeah.
Average is 5'10".
Average,
Average
is
is
5'9".
5'9".
I was
5'8".
gonna say it's
5'9".
5'9".
It's 5'9".
I'm just an average person.
I don't know. Y'all
I'm
look
just
the
an
same to
average
me.
man.
Average,
Shut up,
average
shut
in
up.
boots.
I just look down to all of
Yeah,
you.
you know.
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
like, oh, where'd you go?
It's funny.
but
Help.
no, I
Sneak
think
up on me out of nowhere.
I feel like going into your junior year, I feel like it should be 2 sports. That way you can start I feel like decisions are 50-50 at that point instead of being like a little bit over here, a little bit over there. It's easier to be good at 2 sports than try to be good at 3.
Oh, I'd agree.
Well,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
4-sport athlete.
I mean,
over
process
here
of
in high school.
elimination.
And I
for
will-
sure.
Unless you're just amazing.
yeah. You know?
And there's a handful of those kids out there that, they're not normal. But that's the problem is people see those kids and think that they can be like that just because he's like that or she's like that. And it's not, I mean, I can tell myself day in and day out that I'm 6 foot, but I ain't.
On a ladder.
And
Maybe not
so
even
like
there.
me trying
On the
to
lift.
continue, me trying
We're all
to
6 foot on the lift.
yeah, do that over and over. Like it's just you're talking about fantasy land. Like it's just, and that's great that you want to tell yourself that. And honestly, if you want to put the work in and try, I'm not even against that. But don't come to me your senior year wanting to try and now focus when you wasted 2.5, 3 years. And now you're behind the 8 ball with the one sport that you might physically have a chance to play in college, and then want to blame anybody else but yourself.
Right. You can still come to us. Just know that you will.
Please still come,
Yeah,
because I
still
will
come-
still fix
yeah,
you.
Still
But
come to us.
Yeah,
it's
we
just
still-
a much harder thing. Like it's you're at the end of the day, you got to use time because time is the only thing you don't get back.
It's your
and
most
that's-
valuable asset.
There you go. Yeah. That's a good one.
No.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, look at us with all the Instagrams.
That's like
you know,
3.
you know what they say, your best
Crazy.
ability is your availability.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, what did you just say?
Your best ability is your availability.
Yeah.
Man, we're full.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you also break down your hours into half hours and make those half hours hours, then you're working twice as much as everybody else. So
And if you have multiple days in one day, then you're gonna
really-
have extra
really,
days.
I'm working 16 hours a day when you're only working 8.
Exactly.
And then add that up over
We're
time.
manipulating time, man. We're manipulating time.
You also, when you walk into a room, you want to take all 4 corners of the room,
Put them in your
put
pocket.
them in your pocket. Then you
Yeah.
own the
Oh
room.
man.
Now the pocket's in your room.
The only problem is like, what if you walk into a room
And
and
it's a
it's round?
circle.
Then you roll it into your pocket.
Then you got to take off the wallpaper and then put it in your shirt.
That's exactly.
Then once
how
you put it in your
works.
shirt, then you can look at it through an eyeglass.
And if you can do all that,
Anyway,
you're gonna
totally,
make it.
totally ripped off other podcasts there.
Yeah.
But,
That's
Oh,
good.
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness.
Don't do that.
but the person who said the pocket thing was like serious.
That was a serious.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a serious. She
And-
was serious about that.
Oh,
And then,
Own the room. Own the
and then
room.
the guy who for some reason had that podcast and was hosting it was like, so good. So I'm like,
Hey,
what?
that
That
was
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
monumental.
What do you-
Like
Wow,
just changed
so
my
smart.
mind.
What do you
Don't love your job. Job your love.
Yeah, that's a good
Wait,
one
what?
too.
So good.
Yeah, these
Snaps.
are. Yeah.
You guys think we say stupid stuff?
Trust me.
They're stupider out there.
There-
Believe it or not.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
If there was bloopers to this podcast, oh my, you guys would have a good laugh.
Well,
I
it's
know.
all
Blueprints
it's
to
all recorded.
this
Bloopers.
I'm,
Bloopers.
I'm
Oh,
surprised.
bloopers. Oh, I can do a B reel.
Oh,
I-
yeah, let's not do that. Sean,
It's just me going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Or all the times these two are pointing at me and looking at me.
or Sean,
Little
I-
boy,
I
say a
have-
question.
In the early days,
Little
I used to
boy.
have to remove all the long pauses because we would sit here and go.
Long pause.
Long pause.
long pause.
So forever growing on that.
Yeah.
So Naj, let's talk about your baseball career and when you started to really say baseball's my thing. How old were you?
3.
Oh,
guy was born with a baseball
Yeah,
bat.
but he didn't do all the work that he
Great
wishes
Britain
he
handed him a
he
baseball
should
bat.
have.
and-
I started playing baseball when I was 8.
Oh,
First
wow.
sport I ever played. First sport I ever played was basketball. First sport I ever played, only ball I ever knew
Nice.
for about 2 years. And then I went to this camp one day, like this public camp we had in the Bahamas. And one day I went to baseball. And ever since then, I fell in love. Played basketball and baseball my whole life. They fought hand in hand. And then went all the way up to senior year. I was like, well, now I'm going to go to college for baseball. That was it. So it wasn't my winner. It wasn't my busy sport. It was actually a sport I knew how to play for
Got
a
a,
long time.
got a good mid-range jumper.
I do have a good mid-range
I knew it. You
jumper.
just look like a mid-range
I-
guy.
I do
Like
have a good
they're
one.
like, okay, what's this guy got? A little turnaround, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, like I play like all those old dudes, you know. Like I play
Yeah,
like 90s
little 2
basketball.
feet on the ground. action,
Yeah, 2 feet, pump fake, put the ball between
Yeah.
your legs, their hands in the
Mr.
air.
Fundamentals. What they
Mr.
call him.
Fundamentals.
Yeah.
That's
Big
that's me.
Fundy. Yeah.
Big Fundy.
But when
DJ
did you
LeMay,
decide that you had to put in that work, when you weren't just playing?
In the off season, like wintertime, I used to do workouts with the great Jeff
Yeah.
Oldenburg.
The one.
The one, the only,
only
Jeff Oldenburg. And
legendary
that was my first
Jeffrey.
that was like my second time really being consistent with weights. Really and truly, I wasn't very consistent with that. Like I said, I'll go in the kids and hit baseballs all day long. I'll feel ground balls all day long, but get me in the weight room. That's in the Bahamas. It's not much of that. So
Mhm.
that's
You guys got those beach gyms down there.
that's in Cali or
Oh.
yeah, that's not
Or
us.
Florida?
Yeah, there. That's not us.
Okay.
I wish. We got
That'd
a
be
pull-up
cool,
bar on
though.
the beach though.
Hey,
There's a pull-up
that's all
bar
you
there.
need. That's all you need.
Really and truly, you can run.
Run around on the beach.
Yeah.
Get that
but-
fascia trained.
yeah.
So how old were you when Jeff was, getting you in the gym?
Just
Mm,
rambling.
15, 16, yeah.
And
Around
then,
there.
and then
16.
did you stay consistent
Nope.
into your college career?
Into my college career, I think no. Into my college career, my senior year, I kind of took it on myself. Like I kind of started training myself a little bit more because that's when Jeff kind of simmered down from that. So, because that's when the little guy came in the picture. So, I definitely took it on more myself and tried to get ready for college in the best way I knew how. Like, because definitely kind of lacking knowledge and what's not. So, I kind of did what I could do in the gym, what I knew how, what I remembered to do, and kind of went from there. When I got to college, it was not. When I went to my first junior college, it was just not that. Like I thought the weights program would have been much different. I expected a more like hostile environment, and a lot of those dudes just were not as hostile as I thought they were going to be. But they were hostile in the field though, but not in the weight room, and that's why like they were okay.
Just for a translation to our American listeners, hostile over in the Bahamas compared to here is just high energy, like very focused, high energy guys, not actually bringing knives and guns or anything like that. So no one was taken hostage or anything. Keep going.
I really like that he adjusted his voice. He said, "For our American
Yeah,
listeners."
well, you know.
Thank you so much. for
Yeah.
that chance.
Hostile.
I appreciate.
Why would
that.
they choke each other out in the gym?
Want a hostile
Give it back!
environment?
Give me that dumbbell!
But no, I feel like
They spotted each other by just
Yeah. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Ah, you can't get it, can you?
But no, I feel like I would say it. If I could, I'll have to say it. If I could go back, I wish I had stayed in the weight room more often, or at least like did something more often, at least 3-4 times a week, so I could have some type of consistency and discipline. Because once that goes out the window, it's hard to like build that up again.
Yeah.
It's really hard to build up that discipline and go in every day. And that's something if you truly break that, that's hard to come back from.
Stacking days, man.
All right, Sean. Same question for you
about the sports. and
because you
stuff.
played baseball in college.
I did, yeah. I played 4 sports in high school all the way through.
Because
So,
there was 11 people in your class.
well, that's
But-
not true. There was 11 people in this school. No, no, we weren't that small. We were roughly between like 30 and 35 kids at class. So we had about 120 kids in high school. But
You did stay active in your MLB, season at
well,
home, but
hey, man, I mean, morning I'm going out. Well, I guess maybe not senior year, but like when we still had cattle morning, I wake up at roughly around 5:15, drag myself out of bed, go out to the barn, hope there's not a possum in the feed waiting because that always freak me out, but feed the cattle.
You have any of those
Possums?
back home?
Opossums, actually.
Opossums?
Opossums.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
But
you
you
didn't
know,
have to worry about that in the morning.
that was always the worst thing. I'm just like, I'm turning on the lights, like, please don't be in the feed bucket.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but anyway, do that in the morning. Then Dad would take us to lifting. And then eventually, when my brother was able to drive, he'd take me to lifting, and which was good. And then go to school and then I practice afterwards. And then I usually had something else after practice, like. So I mean, I was busy all day long with something normally, and then if I had time at home, and then I'd go do my thing either on the basketball court, but and wiffle ball, whatever. Just out there by myself in the middle of
mental
middle of,
training,
you
mental
know.
reps.
But yeah, I mean, I played track, football, basketball, baseball, and because like a small school, I mean, like there's some people like Andale, you got a lot of multi-sport people there. It's kind of the same thing, but if you're a warm body, they want you playing everything. We had kids who were like, hey, I'm not playing basketball this year, and I'm just going to train, which means they would maybe lift a couple extra times a week. It's like, all right, whatever. So we would always be like, oh, you got to be playing sports. Like that was just the mentality. I wanted to either go to college for basketball or baseball. I went on a visit. When I went on my visit to Briarcliff, it was for both. But they didn't keep in contact with me. I didn't have great basketball numbers anyway. I just am not surprising they didn't like reach back out to me.
Did you average about 6-7 points a game?
Yeah.
Oh.
I averaged
4 or 5 rebounds, 3-4 rebounds.
Well, yeah, my senior year, I think it was like 7 points, about 5 rebounds, and about 3.5, 4 assists a game.
All right.
Just kind of a glue guy. I was a shooter, a streaky shooter though.
Oh, yeah.
Streaky shooter. So some days it's
Considering you were only making 3 buckets a game, a little streaky.
right. Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
did.
saying.
I
Can't
almost.
be a shooter.
I had one. So I was in my career on the free throw line. I was 22 for 24.
Hey,
Oh.
well, that's why
So,
they
but
called him.
Now, wow. So one of the 2 free throws I missed, if I would have made it, I would have had my only career double-double. I missed a free throw. I went 1 for 2 at the line, and
Dang it.
I finished with 9 points and 11 rebounds.
Were
that
you
game.
thinking about it when you went to go and shoot?
No, I
I
wasn't.
Double-double.
Dude,
Rick.
my coach told me after the game, he's like, "Yeah, it's that free throw would have been a double." I was like, "Great," but-
Dang.
yeah, no, I wasn't all that great about it. I loved it, and I did a lot of the work myself. I did tee work for baseball. Obviously, I had my own baseball games as well, and then
Yeah.
and I shot hoops all the time. So like if I had practice for something, and then I had I was in like plays and stuff, so I'd have play practice later at night, and so in between.
Whoa.
in between,
we'll come back to it.
Okay,
in
speaking
between
track.
like my track practice or football practice, and then I'd go shoot hoops for an hour or whatever. Like I was always trying to kind of work and get better, but being in that small environment now, and I look back at it and I'm like, well, I mean, if basketball and baseball were my sports, I loved football too. I really did. I was still going to do football. I just didn't get the opportunities I wish I had, and part of that's on me. But part of it's kind of how we played. And then I wish I would have taken the spring off, like with track, because I was told do track because it makes you better at football. Not when you run distance. I ran the 1600, the 3200, 800s. Yeah, that made me a lot better at football. No, it made me hate track is what it made me hate. But I enjoyed parts of track. But anyway, it's I was like, I could have used the spring to invest more time in basketball, baseball, so on and so forth. I was consistent in the weight room. The thing I would change going back, because like you don't know what you don't know. So like I just did the weight program that they had in Forest, and it was fine. Like nobody's gonna become beasts out of that unless they just develop a little bit quicker. And I was a late bloomer for sure. I'm still going through puberty, so
his brain's still
that
developing.
beard's still coming in.
you guys can tell. But and then like out on the turf, I usually have about 3 or 4 voice cracks a day. So I just say, I'm still
on
trying
that,
to get through it. But
when you're talking about the blanket, that's the way that my brain. It's like a blanket argument that playing multiple sports, all these sports are just gonna. Track's making you better at football. Why?
If you're
Where?
a sprinter,
What?
if you're a sprinter,
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, but that argument is so flawed.
But then
it's making
there's
you
a
a better
massive-
sprinter.
Then it's a massive break between
Yeah, that's
track and football anyway. So if you're not consistently sprinting, then it really doesn't matter. So,
is it making you more athletic? Possibly, depending on who's coaching you and teaching
and what
you.
you're doing. Like if you're doing the hurdles and you're doing the long jump and you're good at that and you're training year round, yes, it would probably make you better at other sports. But if you're just doing track for the season like I was, it's not really making you better at
But I
other
think
sports.
the argument there is that it's making you a more diverse athlete. I think that it helps you foundationally. I think that you could argue that there is certain pieces of athletic movements that translate across sports. But I don't think that there's any one sport that makes you better at another sport. I don't know where that blanket
Baseball.
statement has come from though,
100%.
right? Now, granted, do I think that baseball from an eye-hand coordination standpoint is probably the best blanket answer into other areas? Sure. But just because you can, do a specific thing in one sport, I don't know how we have then thrown this that's going to make you better at soccer.
Sure.
Why?
Well, and
what do you mean? Like
also-
how? Because you're a better athlete. Like it helps you athletically. Yes. Like that you can go on that track, but then the answer to that is, well, then why do I have to play this sport to focus on those things? Why can't I just focus on those things outside of that other sport?
Just got a text from Seven Brew.
Oh, nice.
They're letting me know what's.
They
up.
got our code?
No, they don't.
Dang
but they're just letting me know what's going on.
I've never
out.
understood that argument, and that's a common thing with high school coaches. Like, oh no, and I think they just say it to convince people, but there's really
especially in the football coach when I was in high school was also the girls track coach, and that's
he wants them to do both.
Yeah, and that's part of it, and I get that, like you want athletes to be on your team, especially at a small school. Like you need athletes to be on your team, so I totally get it from that.
And the fail-safe thing. Like I think
perspective.
that's a really good way of explaining that. I've heard that's the first time I've heard you say it like that. Yeah, nice, good job. Because that's what it is. I mean, it is a way to positively entrap these kids into being active and doing something.
Best
like
intentions there. Best
I agree.
intentions,
Yeah, I don't think that's a negative thing. at
No,
all.
and like if you don't think the kids will hold themselves accountable, like not every kid's gonna.
No.
I mean, I remember specifically like. We had a Saturday basketball game.
Okay.
It's non-conference.
Did you dunk or no?
No.
Okay.
I had one opportunity to dunk.
Just
in high
before
school,
or after
and I
play
passed.
practice?
I'm still hung up on it. I'm not gonna lie.
We can get there, but so
We might have to do that off pod before we bring it.
we
on.
want to talk about like players not like holding themselves accountable. This is high school, right? And I remember this. And sorry to all my teammates. I'm not gonna call you out by name, but.
You should, because nobody on this.
Well, yeah, they won't listen. They won't listen. But the off chance that you are, I was so pissed. Right, we have this Saturday game, and maybe it was a varsity conference. I can't remember, but we played like crap. Come to find out, half the team was up till freaking 2 a.m. hanging out with a bunch of older guys from my hometown who are back hanging out with a bunch of high schoolers and doing what high schoolers do on a Friday night, And I was so pissed, man. I was livid because I mean I didn't play very well, so I'm pissed at that. And then the rest of the team didn't play very well because I mean I got my sleep in, but they were all up late doing who God knows what. Till had to rip some skin off, but
Yeah, good job.
but till 2 a.m.
Uh.
and thinking they're going to show up and play the next day. And I was livid about that. And that's the reason those coaches do that. Like you can't like trust these kids to go and get better and stay accountable to themselves. So they do these off season liftings and everything and like that, which is good in its intention, obviously. But if you want to get to the next level, because you have to do more. And the thing that I would look back at I'm bleeding bad now. The thing that
It's usually what happens.
I'd have to look back and improve on. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know, but the thing that like was brainwashed to me, not necessarily by anybody, but maybe myself and just looking around, was that okay, I don't have speed, I'm not fast.
Yeah. Oh,
And that's
okay.
just how it is. So I didn't work on that part at all, right? And I wish I would have put more time into just doing more sprinting, and trying to look up and see how to get better at it, because that's what was lacking in all of my sport. I was not athletic, right? I was fundamentally sound at everything because that's what I worked on. I was like, well, I better be fundamentally sound, because if I'm not, I'm going to be really bad because I'm not super athletic. So I wish I would have put more time and energy into that instead of just thinking that, okay, if I do these ladder drills and cone drills on the 20 minutes we have for agility at lifting, then I'm going to get better. And it's, that's just not necessarily true, especially when you're doing it out on concrete, which is what we had to do it on. I mean, that's not throwing shade there, but that's just what we had to do. And
There's a lot of variables that play into what you're saying, though, obviously. Like location, size.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definite things that are uncontrollable for certain athletes in certain areas and certain things. Like, and we're not trying to, just glaze over that fact. Like, because there's definitely sometimes you just got to make do with what you got and do the best that you can do. But time, it boils back down to that, I think. Like, when you think of the time that you have to be able to make the right decisions, that's where I feel like that gap happens. Like, that's where I feel like people think, oh, well, I can just keep playing them all. I can just keep doing them all. I can just keep doing all this. And then all of a sudden they wake up one day and it's like, oh man, it's my senior senior summer.
I'm like okay at everything, but I'm not really good at one
Exactly.
thing,
And then it's senior summer and you're like, well, where am I going to go? What do I do? And it's like, well, you're late.
Yeah.
And behind.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just not and again, I don't think that there's a single only
I
one
mean,
answer,
and it's
but
not like I don't think it is up to people like us to continue to talk like this,
that's the goal.
right?
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
it's not like it's one person's fault that it's this way. It's just this is how these coaches were raised up and brought into it, and they're doing the best they can with what they know and how they want to go about things. And the athletes are trying to listen to a bunch of different voices, or the parents are trying to listen to a bunch of different voices and put their kid in the best possible spot to succeed. And depending on the environment you're in, you're going to go towards that environment and kind of follow the crowd. So it's not like anybody's completely at fault. It's just now that we've gone through what we've experienced and we are working at a place like this, and we're in a couple different arenas in that regard. We're trying to share the better way to do it.
Yep.
Right? Because we've realized that on our own, and we want to help other people get it. So as we make these conversations and stuff, like obviously most of what we say is a generalization, but it's not to call anybody out. If you do feel called out and you want to change, great. But like, it's not to call anybody out, because everybody's a product of their own environment, and you don't know what you don't know. So like, just like me coming in, it's not like I did everything right in high school or in college. I definitely did not. I did a lot of things wrong. And that's why, like, now in my position here, that's why I want to make sure other athletes and other coaches maybe can build off our experiences or their experiences and really put that towards the kids to make them better.
Yeah.
That makes
Oh, it makes total sense. Well, and I think that that's a purpose-driven type mentality that we have here, and part of the reasons why we talk about what we talk about or do the things that we do on a day to day. But it's a topic that I'm sure we're going to continue to talk about because there's a lot of scenarios, there's a lot of variables, there's a lot of different things that you can unpack, and ultimately with all those different things going on,
We got to be good stewards.
Yeah, it's just hard to always make the right decisions because
Enjoy the commodity.
there's just a lot of it that can change, and there's just a lot of variables that play into what you want to do. But the one constant is that you ain't getting the time back. So, another one. Yeah, all right, cool. Nice. Love that.
We're just handing them out for free
It's great.
now.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Eh?
All right, well, last topic. Let's talk
Lunge
about the
across.
play thing real quick. Let's just end the pod on that.
Yeah, man.
What was what?
Yeah,
That
I
was
was-
your fourth sport, I guess.
Fifth.
Fifth
well,
sport?
I was in.
Football, basketball,
sports.
track, baseball. Well, yeah,
Did-
because you guys play in the
I did
summer.
the fall. In the fall, it was the play. In the spring was the musical. So I did those. I did choir. I did band. I
Oh,
did,
wow. What a guy.
4-H, FFA.
Oh my!
Whoa.
I wasn't super involved in FFA. I was kind of more. I was just like, I got so much going on right now. I'll go and hang out.
Show up to
whatever,
a meeting.
Hey,
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Sean,
but I didn't.
to make you feel more comfortable, I was in the spring musicals as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
didn't know, I
Yeah,
was
what-
also in the band.
Mary Poppins.
No, we did.
What was your play? What'd you do?
Fall plays.
I need you to take it down a notch because Naj is talking in his monotone.
What was your play?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. voice.
So freshman year, it was a disaster actually.
Oh,
wow.
That director was
Oh wow.
she was a mess. And I like signed up to be a crew, but because so many people
You were the lead actor.
no, I wasn't. Well, like I wasn't ready
was
to.
true
my
number one.
older brother did all this, right? He did all this. He pulled me into it. He's like, "You're doing this with me." I was like, "Fine." And I'll do like a small part and like crew. I ended up having 3 different parts in that thing. It was sort of- but I ended up enjoying it despite that. And freshman year spring musical, we did Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
My older brother was Gaston, and I was LeFou.
okay.
Now Disney made them gay together, so that doesn't look good in hindsight. But
Ah,
we weren't gay together.
child trauma.
Yeah, we weren't gay together, but
Wow.
because we're brothers.
The play though.
That was fun. That musical was a lot of fun. I think sophomore year we did Seussical. I didn't really like that one that much, but it was other parts of it fun. Sophomore play was awesome. That was really fun. It was called Arsenic and Old Lace. I
Okay.
played. We were a bunch of American tourists trapped in a Russian American
It's
embassy,
like a James Bond film.
and I was.
The
I had
Russian-
been lit. No,
Oh.
I was actually British. I couldn't do a British accent. I sounded like Christopher Walken for some reason. But like, I was an old priest. Okay, I was an old priest, and I was up in the. I was just living in the attic of the embassy.
Oh.
And I was a failed magician too. So I
Oh.
did a bunch of like. It was a lot of fun though. That was fun. I also had my went to the playoffs that year in football, so I had my mohawk. So I just combed over the mohawk. It was pretty fun. Junior year, I think we did. What was that called? It was like I can't remember what it's
Hey.
called. But
For any of our listeners out there, if you guys come into the facility and razz Sean on his plays,
it's all right. Junior year,
we'll get
we
you
did
a
Mary
coffee or
Poppins.
something. Yeah,
I was,
somebody come give him a hard time if you're a listener out there.
I was
What a-
Bert in Mary Poppins.
Bart.
Yeah. I actually got better at the British accent in that one, but
Let me
not
hear-
that much.
Let me
better.
hear it, Sean.
I can't do it right now.
Why?
I can just see 14-year-old
Chimney,
Sean
chim-
in the
chimney,
bathroom
chim-
reading
chim-
his
chiree.
lines.
Yeah, dude, and then we would always
Good
like
day.
we'd always like pull it together at the last one too. Like I didn't practice enough. Well, but it was fun. It was a fun time. Senior year, I can't remember what we did either. But
Lots of improv.
oh, we did Music Man senior year. So
Oh, nice.
I was the lead in that too. As Harold Hill. Music
Dang,
Man.
you
Yeah.
started from crew and ended as the
Dude.
lead, bro.
Dude,
Look
I
at
was
you.
I was the male lead junior and senior year, and then
Alright.
in the play I was the male. Well, I don't know if I was technically the male lead, but I know in junior year,
Main
the-
cast.
Were you the
Actor of the
female
lead?
year.
Cast?
Were you
Actor
the
of the
female lead?
year.
senior year I was also. I think I was the male lead in that one too. I can't remember, but It was a fun time. It was a lot of fun. I was glad my brother talked me into
A
it.
true thespian.
There you go.
A true thespian.
Yeah. Now I would not go past high school though, because I've met theater people in college, and they
All
are
right,
they are
yeah.
they're kinda
Next
weird.
episode
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Sports
yeah.
HQ, we dive
was-
into theater.
It was
Thespian.
now I will recommend people like, because I was, I grew up obviously big sports guy, and doing like theater and stuff. That was hanging around a lot of people, and believe it or not, we all knew each other in a small school, but I didn't like hang out with everybody,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So like I hung out with a lot of people who I
Outside
didn't
of
hang
your
out
social circle.
right. So
Yeah.
that was a good experience, and I recommend people do that just to branch out. You don't have to be best friends with them, but like just learn to get along with people, work on your people skills, get to know other people, and you can break outside your circle a little bit.
I did that same thing when I transferred to North.
It was a little outside your circle.
Yeah.
Essay.
New circle.
All right.
All right, let's close this thing down.
Yes, yes, yes.
On the hour on the dot. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Sean,
work,
can you
guys.
lead us in prayer,
Good work.
please?
Yeah. Lord, thank you again for this day. I just pray for good safety and protection over our city, over our communities. Thank you for good conversation today. I just pray for all the athletes out there who might ever listen to this, all the parents, all the coaches. I just pray that everything's going to be about the athlete and trying to put them in the best spot to succeed. I pray for the athletes to make the best decisions. And I pray ultimately that what makes the whole journey easier is that they know you, Lord. And that's going to be number one in life all the time, because when it's not, life gets really hard when we rely on ourselves and other people, because we're going to fail ourselves. We're going to fail other people all the time, because that's our nature. So I pray that we lean on you. We look to you. And I pray all the young athletes who are in sports and making sports their life, make you number one instead, and let the blessings flow down to the sports. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that's it for episode 71. Tomorrow, 72.
Shout out Kids Customs 242 on Instagram.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next